So I was listening to TD Jakes this morning, and there was something he said that really resonated with me. And I wanted to share with you guys my perspective on it and pretty much how I feel like it's most definitely something that we can all learn from and relate to, right? So there's this analogy that was given that when you plant a seed, right? And I know you guys know, like, plant a seed, you got to be patient and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all heard that before, right? I even said it on my channels before, right? Which is all true, right? So the interesting thing he said is when you plant a seed grows down first before it grows up, right? A seed grows down first before it grows up. And the crazy thing is, like, what does he mean by, like, something has to grow down before it grows up? Like, doesn't things just go in a linear path? And, when we talk about our journeys, like, isn't it from like point A to point B? Like, don't we start here and go here? Like, how do we grow down before we grow up, right? So in my reflection and in my devotion this morning, I was really kind of thinking about, like, what did he really mean by that? And as I started listening a little bit more, it dawned on me. I was like, well, when a seed is planted, right? When a seed is planted, it does have to grow down first before it grows up. Why does it have to grow down before it grows up? Because there has to be some roots established before things grow up. Like, there has to be some roots established before things grow up, right? Or we even see the plant sprout, right? Before we see the plant sprout, there are roots that have been developed before it sprouts. So if you guys ever look up time-lapse videos of, like, seeds being grown, right? I know on TikTok you can check them out and all that stuff. A seed grows down before it grows up. There's a lot of roots that are established before you start to see anything sprout. And that's the crazy thing is, and it's so symbolic because many of times we don't see the results or the fruits of our labor, but we don't understand, like, roots have to be established. Roots have to be established before they grow up. We have to have these roots established within ourselves and whatever we're doing before things grow up. The endeavors that we have and the difficulties that we face and the challenges we may see within ourselves when we're trying to start something new or we're trying to make something grow, we may not realize that things are working. Things are in the works. Things are being worked on and established right now. But the crazy thing is sometimes we get discouraged. We don't see the results. We don't see the fruits of our labor. We don't see anything sprouting, right? But understanding, like, just as a seed needs to establish roots, we have to establish roots in a strong foundation before we even see any results of anything. You know what I mean? We see a lot of people, and I've said this before, we see a lot of folks on social media go viral, and we see a lot of people go crazy, and then, like, 6 months later, we're like, what happened to it? Where'd they go? You know what I mean? Or we might see, like, businesses booming, and then we might see businesses fail and be like, what happened to that business? Like, they're doing so well, right? The roots of that system or whatever it was not established. You know what I mean? The roots wasn't established, and it did not allow for any sustainability. When the roots are strong, there's no sustainability, right? I've always said that even with my own social media journey, that I don't want to go viral. I don't want to have hella followers and subscribers if I don't have a system in play. You know what I mean? I'd rather have systems in play so that when that time comes, I'm fully prepared, right? Again, in my other video right here, we talked about preparation and procrastination, but this is all within preparation, right? When roots are being established, what is that? That's preparation, right? That is literally preparation. And if we don't prepare ourselves or put ourselves in a position of preparing, then what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? We're so mad that nothing sprouted, but also at the same time, this is all preparation. We have to prepare. Establishing roots is preparation. You know what I mean? It's preparation for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish and whatever you're trying to do. You know what I mean? We have to look at things not as, trying to reap, you know what I mean, before we fully sowed. You know what I mean? That's like biblical. You know what I mean? You can't reap what you don't sow, right? And you can't be surprised as well, too, when we talk about planting seeds. We can't be surprised if, you're planting one seed and you're expecting something else to come, right? I'm gonna use this as an example. You can't plant this tree seed right here and expect the bush to grow. You know what I mean? You planted a tree. So again, you can't expect to reap what you don't sow. In addition to all this, when we're talking about planting the seed and, nurturing the seed and, understanding it needs a solid foundation, you can't expect to reap what you don't sow, right? You can't expect to be somebody or be something that you did not prepare to be. You know what I mean? Like that's not how it works. So I heard my guy Ice Cube say a minute ago, shout out to my guy Ice Cube, one of my favorite rappers of all time. He said, which was crazy because this resonates with exactly what I'm talking about, is that you can't be mad about the work you did not put in. You know what I mean? You can't be mad about the work you did not put in, because if you didn't put in that work, what can you really be mad about? You know what I mean? What can you honestly be mad about? You can't be mad at anything. You can't be mad at anybody. If you're expecting all your life you didn't put that work in, you know what I mean? That's kind of bizarre to me, right? Like, am I tripping? Like, if you didn't put that work in, but you're expecting the result, like, how can you really expect for yourself to really flourish and really thrive? You know what I mean? Like, because you didn't put the work in. And I feel like that's fair game. That's fair game. Like, if you didn't put the work in, how could you expect to really have those results or whatever it is that you're trying to get out your life? So again, when we talk about planting the seed and understand things have to grow down before they grow up, right? What does growing down look like? Growing down means, having to be patient, having to understand that things take time, having to understand that you are in the stage of preparation. You know what I mean? You're not in the stage to reap right now. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay. Don't expect to reap while you're sowing. You know what I mean? Don't expect to pick a fruit from a sprout. You feel me? Or pick a fruit even from something that hasn't sprouted yet. You know what I mean? Don't get frustrated in the process. Don't get discouraged in the process. Don't think that you're doing something wrong because the process isn't going the way you planned it to go. You feel me? Understand that in anything right now, you know what I mean? Anything you're trying to do, it's all preparation. Having the roots be established is going to prepare you to bear the fruit. You feel me? And it's really going to help you and stay humble in the process too. You know what I mean? We have to sometimes develop humility because we live in a world that is very fast tracked. We live in a world that is very, fast paced. We want things right away. Like, patience is really not part of our language anymore. You know what I mean? Patience isn't really part of our vernacular all the time. It's not part of the way we live. We want things a certain way in a certain time. You know what I mean? But, we even genetically modify like plants like these now so they can grow faster. Like, we genetically modify animals to grow faster so we can consume them faster. You know what I mean? So, even when we talk about the laws of nature, things take time. Us as a society, we've already found ways to make things go faster and fast track things, right? But when it comes to what you really want, you still gotta have patience. You know what I mean? What do you do when you're growing down? You know what I mean? You're growing down, you're getting frustrated, you're getting tired, you're exhausted and all that, right? But when you're growing down, even in this process that you're going through, or whatever endeavor that you have going on, the growing down right now is getting to the roots. You know what I mean? You're developing roots right now. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. When you're not nourishing the seed that you planted, you know what I mean? When you're not watering it, you're not tending to it, then yeah, of course it's not gonna pop the way you want it to pop. You feel me? It's not gonna crack the way you want it to crack because you stopped watering it. Why? Because you didn't see no results. But I'm here to tell you right now, like, if you keep watering that seed, you keep nurturing that plant, you keep on establishing these roots, you will bear fruit that will multiply and multiply and multiply, and you'll have an abundance of whatever it is that you're trying to get at. You feel me? Whatever it is you're trying to get at, you have an abundance of it. You just gotta have that faith. You know what I mean? Have that faith within yourself that things are gonna pop off. And I'm in with this. My boy EJ, shout out to my boy EJ Warner. We're coming up with a podcast called Manage the Mental. So I want you guys to tap into that as well too. I'll be giving some more details as to when we're gonna be doing that. He gave me a crazy analogy, I think it was last week. And I was telling him, like, he had watched my other videos and he was like, man, I'm gonna tell you a story, right? And I said, all right, what's the story? He said, have you ever heard the story of the man and the bamboo? And I'm like, nah, I ain't heard no story about no man, no bamboo. Like, what are you talking about? He said, the man planted a bamboo seed and he watered that seed for a month and nothing came up. He said the man kept watering that seed for a year, nothing came up. He said the man kept watering that seed for 2 years, nothing came up. He said nothing came up for the third year. The man was kind of getting frustrated. He's like, man, like what the heck is going on? You know what I mean? What's the deal? He kept watering it. And by the third year, 3.5 years went by, and he's like, man, like, I don't know if this is even like, is there still a seed in the ground? You know what I mean? Like, is there still a seed in the ground? You know what I mean? Because nothing's popping up. Nothing's popping up at all. So he kept watering. By the fourth year, that bamboo seed shot up 20 feet. You know what I mean? It shot up 20 feet. And the crazy thing, when I started looking into bamboo, you know what I mean? Bamboo is one of the strongest woods in the world. You know what I mean? There's certain trees and stuff like that grow faster, obviously, but bamboo is one of the strongest and most sustainable woods in the world. In some countries, bamboo is the only wood people use to build infrastructures. You know what I mean? I'm talking about tall buildings. I'm not talking about like houses and stuff like that, like this. Like we have wood pillars and stuff like that. I'm talking about like skyscrapers. You know what I mean? So when I was sitting with that for a minute, I was like, yeah, that's it right there. You feel me? And I was like, yeah, you know what? If it takes that long to be the strongest and the best, that's worth the wait. You feel me? Like that is worth the wait, because to be the strongest and the best wood and the most sustainable wood in the world, yeah, that's an easy call. That's an easy call. But I appreciate y'all tapping in. Again, I'm just going on my walk. Wanted to get this word in with you guys. Hope this was helpful. Again, don't give up. Stay the course. Keep doing your thing. Don't get discouraged. If you don't see anything being produced, it's because the roots are getting deeper and deeper and deeper. All right? Y'all take care. Terrence, the therapist. Peace.